Nigel won, so I blame him for this one. New
Yeah.
PS5 model reported being released in 2022. Now, I think that Sony have always done this thing where they every year like annual iterations on it, and you got like if you look, especially if you do emulation, you get like different firmware types to support the different kind of hardware. And Microsoft looked at Sony's building of the PlayStation. They were like, these guys have managed to build a console. They started off with 138 chips, got it down to like 70 something chips, and they got it down to like 30 chips, and then down to 16, and then down to 1, which they were amazed at. And I think this is part of this. I think this is a new SKU. May have a larger hard drive. There's reports that they're replacing the chip on it, and I know that during the manufacturing process, they had to bin a ton of chips right at the beginning, and that's what caused part of the shortage was the fact that they didn't have enough processors to run to put into the PS5. So I imagine they probably fixed the chip, and they're now putting the model together to support that newer chip. So you got a more reliable PlayStation. I'm now worried about with PS5 breaking.
Well, no, it might. That's not quite what I read. I read that the reason because they're revising it a bit earlier than they normally do. The reason they're doing it is because they can't source the GPU chips, and apparently they're going AMD. That's what I read this week.
Okay, because it's not. It's an APU, so it's a CPU.
Well, you know what
CPU together, which is a Ryzen. What do you call it? It's a Ryzen derivative chip.
Yes, but I heard they're now changing that to a separate architecture because of the not being able to source the processors or whatever it is. I read that it was something to do with that they were making the switch from NVIDIA to AMD. But that might be bollocks.
I think they're on AMD at the moment, if I remember correctly.
That's what I thought they were, yeah.
I'm sure they were on AMD. Let's have a look.
I might be getting my knickers in a twist. It might be the other way around, but I heard that they were changing suppliers. And that was the whole reason for this.
See, the reason it is because they're using the AMD Ryzen chip, yeah, and they're using an APU, so it's got the GPU built into it, so the architecture is all in a single place. They'd have to radically change their architecture for it. I thought they were just changing. From what I got from that article, it looked like they were changing that chip over because that chip was giving them problems, and they were going to put a more reliable chip, an easier to source chip, in its place.
I can't remember where I read the story, but I knew about this, and what I read was Sony were doing this because of issues not being able to, due to the chip shortage, that they were changing suppliers, and that would change the architecture. But who knows? I mean, they have managed to flog 8 million consoles. God knows where those 8 million are. Well, I know where they are. They're still being scalped.
At least.
Yeah.
They're wanting double the money for one here at the moment. Double what they're asking.
Oh yeah, that's what they were asking for over here, the scalpers.
Yeah. I won't do it.
Just wait.
To find it.
You'll get one in 2022, mate, when it's the second one's been released.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
You know all this piss taking that you're doing, right? You do realize when the PS6 comes out and Amazon fuck up your orders again, I am not going to be nice to you like I was before.
All right, fair enough. Anyway,
I did not take the piss once.
I just don't say it's delivered when it's not fucking delivered, Amazon. Say it's delayed and I will accept it, but do not say it's delivered because it looks like I've been ripped off. Okay, so going back to that, I think it's because of the chip manufacture issue that they've had. Yeah, because they have had problems with that chip when putting it through. When they initially were putting that first batch of 1 million PS5 consoles together, they were throwing away half of them. And that's a lot of money. So I imagine they've probably gone back to the board, figured out how to stop the problem, and then how to then fix the problem later on down the line. That's what I believe when it comes to that. Okay, so let's move on to our next one, which is That Day's Gone.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.